Hello, everyone. It's been a while since I've done a live stream. I went from doing a live stream or two every week to only having done two in the last 2 months, I think. And it's good to be back here. I'm happy to be here with you. We'll be drawing a couple of commissions. So I'm offering these commissions live streams where people can tell me who they would like me to draw, and they can give me money because I like drawing people and animals for you for money, and you get to draw along today. So hi Ike, nice to have you here. Let me know in the chat where you're joining from. It's nice to be here. I've really been missing the live streams. I've been missing drawn together. I've been missing doing these regular streams together. Louisa is here. I have my Zoom open if you would like to join in Zoom. I hope that's not going to crash anything because I've got a few things going on at the same time over here. And I just did a live drawing session for Let's Face It, which was lovely. And Astrid is here as well. Linda, if you were drawing in Zoom, it'd be great if you could mute YouTube. And Louisa, you're welcome with a pigeon on your head. Whatever you got on your head, wherever you are, whoever you are, it's nice to have you here. Yeah, I have two commissions that we're going to be working on today. And if anyone watching would like to commission a portrait, let me know. Cristobal is here. Your baby is sleeping. Yeah, nice. It's good when babies sleep. Yeah, so I put some information in the description of this YouTube video. There will be future commission live streams, and I'm going to show you another commission I did recently. I'll bring up my workspace here. Here's a horse that this is Sinar, the horse. I will just put you down here for a moment. I did this for a dear friend, Clary. I don't know if you'll be watching this, Clary, but I did this recently, and I went to a wedding show recently, so it was a perfect match to work on this portrait for Clary. And on my website, I have a commissions page, but these sketches that I do in this format of live stream start at 25 euros, and I'll send them A5 to wherever you are in the world. And hi, Maya. So if you would like to commission a portrait, so starting at 25 euros for a 10-minute sketch, and if you're acquainted with my work, I do a lot of 10-minute portraits, and I'll also do longer portraits for different amounts of money. And everyone can draw along. And yeah, let's do it. Let's start with drawing Sinar. And the second portrait that we've got lined up is a special one, which I look forward to getting to. But first, let's warm up with this portrait of Sinar. And let's start this with 10 minutes. And I feel like if no more commissions come in, maybe we'll spend a bit longer on the next one, because it's special and for a friend. Hi Zan. Side wave to sis and fam. Yeah, my sister and her wife Nina have a baby called Emily, and I'll just tell you now already, we're going to be working on this portrait of another Emily. And Claire did a giveaway on her YouTube channel, the Mixaras, and Eliza won. And Eliza has been a guest on the Drawn Together show. Eliza won, and Eliza would like me to do a piece of Emily, her wife. So my sister has a baby called Emily, and she shared her IVF gay mum journey on her YouTube channel. And as part of that, she did this giveaway, and we'll be drawing an Emily. But let's start with Sinar. It's really nice to have you all here. And if you would like to join Zoom, I would love to have you there and have a voice chat. Otherwise, don't. But I would love you to say hi in the chat and say things, because it's really nice to have you here, and it's nice to draw together. So, I hope this pen has ink in it. This looks like a great. This pen looks a bit dry. A great reference for doing an ink portrait with. And maybe I'll put the time up over here, and you can already start working if you want, but maybe I'll do ink and brush, because the pen is dry and my other pens are in my bag downstairs. I think I have lots of pens here, but how's everyone been? Long time no live stream. It feels like it's just been a while since the regular live streams. All right, I have a couple of pens, and I have ink and brush, and I'm going to start now. So please join me in drawing Sinar, the horse. Oh, wait a minute. I wanted to put my reference right alongside my workspace. Was my plan. I'm a bit out of practice. I feel like things are. Are you about to go to bed? Right, it's nice to have you here. I will be going to bed after this live stream. I've been working on a mural this week, and that has kind of taken a lot of my attention. Normally, I would spend more time preparing for a live stream and kind of letting people know about it, what's going on. So 10 minutes drawing Sinar for my but it's just been busy. A lot of things have happened, and in the past couple months. Claire had a baby, my dear sister. I don't know if it was. Drawn Together has been on a unintended break. Daylight savings has been really tricky. My kids do not go to bed an hour earlier than they used to. So usually like at 9 o'clock, I'm kind of just getting them to bed. And so that's been tricky. I was in a car accident and someone on the Autobahn drove into me from behind. There was another car. It was like just suddenly lots of rain, lots of traffic, and I was 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes away from my destination. And then a car drove into me from behind, but I'm fine. The car has been repaired. So as far as accidents go, it was a good one, but it was an interesting experience. It just happened so fast. And there was a car directly behind me, which managed to swerve out past me. And so there was this brief instant of being like, whew. So I managed to brake in time, not to hit the car in front of me. And then that car swerved. I was like, oh, it's okay. Bam. And then the car that was behind that car drove into me. Drove into my car, not into me. Yeah. It was interesting. And then, because then there are a lot of people standing around on the road and like waiting for the police, and I wasn't sure I would be able to drive my car because the the muffler was hanging down, almost scraping on the road, and but then there was this strange calm on the autobahn. Normally, like, people drive really fast on the autobahn in Germany, and then all of a sudden, like, we were standing there, and like I was talking to the other people, like, so there was this other accident just like 40 meters in front of where we were, and then this young guy who I felt a lot of compassion for, who he was like really shaken up, who had driven into me. Like, I just felt like giving him a hug, being like, everyone's okay, it's okay. And he just like really shook up. And yeah, and then it was kind of surreal and serene, just standing on the autobahn as all these cars slowly drove past. And then I realized on the way home, like, oh, there's this huge traffic jam behind us. And it was like the calm at the eye of the storm where the accident had been was just like, oh, what a strange and relaxing place to be. Not relaxing, but I was happy that I was alive and not injured. Yeah, it was so good that the kids weren't in the car. Like, yeah, that was really good. Because otherwise it wouldn't have been as relaxing to be standing on that autobahn if I had the kids with me. And I also... Yeah. Try not to have kids in the car when you have an accident. Accidents, best avoided in general, if you can help it. Drive safe, everyone. Be careful. But things happen. And that was interesting. And I had just been listening to a podcast about black holes and Jungian psychology, and how like black holes represent death and the encounter with death and the acceptance of death as part of life and everything. And it was like really interesting on a podcast called Sounds of Sand, which is science and non-duality. And it was really interesting conversations. And particularly this one about the black holes, because my 10-year-old sometimes asks me about black holes, and I'm like, what do I know about black holes? It's all very confusing. I don't even know what it is. And then this person who'd spent a lot of time thinking about black holes had a lot of very interesting things to say. And yeah, and that was so interesting. And I'd been listening to this, and it's like, yeah, black holes kind of represent the encounter with death. Like, well, what does it mean to think about black holes? What happens to a black hole? Does everything turn into nothing, or does everything turn into everything? And like, we can't even know. And it's just like an interesting kind of mental exercise to even contemplate such things. And then oh yeah, it's so interesting. And then just a few minutes later, like, bam, like, oh, I'm not dead. That's good. Yeah. So what was super interesting about that? Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I'm okay too. Thank you, Linda and Christabel. Yeah. So this interesting idea that this person was positing was that, so apparently there are, this is, I think it's super interesting to think about a lot of things. So apparently mathematically, maybe, and I'm not an expert, and I'm just like partially quoting a podcast I listen to and don't really understand. But apparently mathematically, you can prove that there are like 29 different dimensions or something we perceive in 3 dimension. And sometimes I've just thought about 4 dimensions and what that means. And I was like, whoa. And but so the further up the dimensions you go, like the increasing complexity of things, like how a cube is you have a square in 2 dimensions, and 3 dimension makes it a cube. And then the idea of a tesseract is what a cube is to a square, but in 4 dimensions. And what does that even mean? And apparently there are 29 dimensions. And this guy's theory, so there's been a lot of discussion about black holes, apparently. I haven't been part of these discussions. But apparently Stephen Hawking was like, things go into a black hole and then they're nothing. And apparently he lost the argument because other people were like, that's not what happens, because nothing is ever lost. Like no energy and no thing can just be dissolved and turn into nothingness. And so this idea was perhaps when things approach a black hole, they kind of fold down into less and less dimensions, and the black hole is like the singularity. And so in our perception, our understanding of things, just imagine something going from being 3-dimensional, like us in our body or on our planet or whatever, experiencing like things in 3 dimension, and as it gets closer, things flatten out into 2 dimension, and like 2 dimensions is like a piece of paper, and then if you fold it on the side, it's just like a line, and everything within the 2 dimensions is like everything that's in 3 dimensions is also there in 2 dimensions, but it's just a dimension less, and then it turns into that. And when the line is like folded and turned into a point, the singularity, and that is like no dimensions, because a line is 1 dimension, the point is no dimensions, and that the black hole is like everything folded into a singularity. And it was like, wow, this is amazing. It was. I told him about it. That's a good question, Zad. So Dan just asked, did Icon, my 10-year-old, who's really into black holes. So I had this accident, and afterwards I was like, Icon, I was listening to a conversation before I had this accident and explained what happens at black holes. And he was super interested. And it's interesting that you mentioned it, because he mentioned it again today. And I don't know where it came from, but now it's relevant again in this conversation. And I was explaining to him like this, basically what I've just said here. And this was really interesting to talk to him about. Because I don't know where it came from. I had never thought about black holes that much. And then Icon came home from school one day and he's like, do you know what happens? Like, what happens when we reach a black hole? And this was this thing, it's like, there's this kind of fear. That was 10 minutes, everyone. This fear of being, and perhaps there's a fear, or maybe there's a curiosity, but it's like, if our planet and our solar system gets sucked into a black hole, what happens? It's like, is everyone dead? Is it just like, bam, it's finished? Or do you get sucked in, and on the other side, come out, like going down a plug hole, and then on the other side, there's something else? What's on the other side? But this idea that once everything reaches the black hole, it just like flattens out, and then it gets kind of spread back out into the universe. That energy, everything that was there, just kind of gets flattened out and disseminated back into the universe to be used as building blocks for something else. Who knows? So yeah, it's fun having conversations like this with my kids. Yeah. That was our 10 minutes. Thank you, Linda. I'm glad you like it. Yeah, that was a nice 10-minute portrait. So just before this, I did a session of 5-minute portraits for Let's Face It, which was super fun. So I don't know, Maya had actually sent, in the last commissions live stream, Maya had sent me an email during the live stream, which I didn't read until after, asking if we could draw Sinar. So I'll just check my emails. I don't know if anyone's going to put in, like, ask for another commission, but I just check just in case. And you can ask me things in the chat or right in my ear if you're in Zoom. How you doing, Louisa? Yeah, the Let's Face It thing will be uploaded in the coming days. So, and we actually, we drew the photos from Radha Sadigulva, which I've done in another live stream, but this time we did 5-minute drawing versions of those, which was really interesting. Maya, this is for Maya, and Maya says so beautiful. I'm so glad you like it, and it's an honor to draw Sina for you. And Maya, if you want to put your Instagram account name in the chat, I can say what it is. But if people have done a sketch and want to share it with Maya, it's MAGSUNDSO. Like I, as an English speaker, would read it Majzun Unso. Yeah, there we go. Thank you for sharing that. I'll just put this up. So if you have been drawing along and just done a portrait of Sina for Maya, then please do tag and share with Maya by Instagram if you like. Hi, Shannon! Shannon is here! Long time no drawn together, right? I just had a live session before this. I can't remember what I've been talking about to who. But yeah, there's been no drawn together for a while, but there will be. And we have wonderful guests just waiting for us to give them a date to draw. All right. There's no other commission. I have Emily here, and this is really nice because Emily is Eliza's wife, and Eliza used to come to my regular Friday morning drawing sessions, which I haven't been hosting since early last year. So I spent a lot of time drawing together with Eliza, and Eliza was a guest on Drawn Together. And Eliza won my sister Claire's giveaway, and the giveaway was a commission from me. And so now we're going to draw Emily for Eliza, and maybe someone can put Eliza's Instagram in the chat. Shannon, if you want to join Zoom, or if anyone else wants to, feel free. Eliza Callard, LIZACALLARD on Instagram. And this is not Eliza, this is Emily. And it's very wonderful that my sister's baby's name is Emily. So hooray for Emily's. I'm going to shift over to this watercolor paper. And this was going to be a 10-minute portrait, I think, but I'm going to probably do it longer because I don't have any other reference lined up. For future reference, if people would like to commission me in one of these live streams, feel free. It's a fun thing to do. I like drawing people for people. But maybe I'll just draw Emily and maybe add a little bit of watercolor to it as well. So I'll set the timer for 10 minutes and then I'll go over time. So I'm going to do the drawing in 10 minutes and then perhaps spend another 10 minutes doing some painting on it. And maybe today's live stream will be a bit shorter than some, because tomorrow there is a running event and we all need to be up very early and all of our children are going running around town. I'm going to use a tiny little pencil, which you can't even see. It's like my pencil sharpener is eating it. A polychromos pencil here. A much loved magenta pencil. And Shannon, you might need to tell me in the YouTube chat when you're trying to get into Zoom so I can head over there and let you in. And yeah, 10 minutes. Let's start drawing Emily. Hi, Maria Luisa. So what have people been up to and experiencing in life the past couple months? It's been a while. I've really missed live streaming. I love it. And for whatever reasons, various reasons, I postponed a couple of live streams because I had a cold that lasted for 5 weeks, which was maybe the longest cold I've ever had. Wasn't COVID, apparently. Yeah, and I mentioned earlier daylight savings, that my kids, like, it used to be a push to try and be ready at 9 o'clock p.m. my time, like having the kids in bed, and then I would be here and kind of sometimes a bit flustered, like I wasn't sure if my kids would get to bed and get to sleep, and now they're just not asleep at that time. And so that's kind of pushed everything further back because they still get up early, and there's still everyday life which happens. This year more than any other year, I've really thought, what's the point of daylight savings? It's just like losing an hour. If there's anyone in the chat that loves daylight savings, yeah, longer daylight time in the evening. It's nice, unless you're hoping, just waiting for that time when the kids are asleep, and just because it's lighter longer, they just don't sleep. Which is, hey Lewis. Yeah, you miss it too. I miss it too. I've been seeing people sharing their work on Instagram, and so many people that I would see and be so happy seeing them sharing their work from my live streams, and they're just sharing other work not from my live streams, which I'm also very happy to see. But I'm just like, oh, it's yeah, I miss the live streaming. So it's but now I'm back here, and there will be more live streams for sure. I was talking to Kira about it today, and she was like, you could just, because Thursdays originally drawn together was on Thursday, because I knew the kids would definitely be asleep by 9 back when we started. And Kira gets home from teaching yoga at 9 on Thursdays. And so it's like, once I start live streaming, Kira will be here. And now it's like, just like, there's no, for various reasons, it's just been really difficult to like make it happen. Ah, interesting. Yeah. How's that going for you? Maybe I'll do another live stream next weekend. I think Kira's going to be gone with Icon, and he's the one who like, sometimes I'm asleep before Icon these days. He's turning into an adult. He's 10, and like I read to him at night, and sometimes he's like, "Oh, keep reading another page." I'm just like, I'm falling asleep here. I just can't. Yeah, things are changing. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sleep is great when you have a cold. I think sleep is probably pretty good in general. Yeah, right. Like, it's like, what happened to going to bed super late. Now that I've been sleeping to recover from my cold, I just want to sleep all the time. Yeah. Yeah. And there's been all sorts of things. Like there's been Ringelröteln. What's that called in? Aha, Shannon is up in my zone. Could a German speaker in the audience please translate what's Ringelröteln? That's been going around. It means ring redding. But it's like, I don't know if it's maybe rubella. It's like some kids thing. German measles, maybe. Okay. Well, maybe in German it's Ringelröteln. But that's been going around here. The kids had that. Oh, and then I had something with my foot, which was just like an inexplicable, unexplained foot infection in the middle of having this full-on cold for weeks and weeks. Yeah, and then I couldn't walk for a week, and basically I just got antibiotics, and the doctors was like, "So what? Why did this happen?" Trying to figure things out, and they're like, "Bad luck, I guess." The accident, maybe. I didn't feel very impacted by it. Kira was like, "Do you need to do something to like process the accident?" I was like, "I don't know." It was kind of, I neared the black hole, and then I went away from it. It was okay. But yeah, maybe at some level. Also, another cool thing since the last live stream is gene keys. Does anyone in the chat know about gene keys? It's something that I've been very interested in the past month or so. It's a very interesting book and kind of a way of understanding ourselves. It's very, very interesting. Oh yeah, there's so much to tell. I'm still kind of figuring it out. But does anyone know about human design? Which is kind of like astrology, but not. But you need your time of birth and birthplace, and then you can like there's a website and it will tell you what your profile is like, and it's bizarre and amazing. Like some of the information that comes up in this stuff, and how like on point so much of it is. And so that's something I've known about for a couple of years, human design. And just recently, through the Tetragrammaton podcast with Rick Rubin, he was talking to Richard Rudd, who is the creator of Gene Keys, which kind of seems like the next development on from human design. And human design, I think, has been around since the 80s or something. And it's like everything overlaid and mixed together, like every kind of just way of understanding our existence. It's kind of like it's amazing. It's based on the I Ching and 64 hexagrams of the I Ching, but it's also based on amino acids and so many different wisdom traditions, and like each one of these 64 gene keys has like a shadow, a gift, and a kind of highest frequency of that particular expression of life. I don't know how much of this is making sense, but it's like it's just like blowing my mind every day. I'm listening to it as an audiobook, and it's so interesting. Anything to help me kind of understand myself and or just people in general, and it's just so much of it is applicable to so many things. It's so interesting. So that's something I've been immersed in recently. So that was 10 minutes drawing. Now let's add some paint to this radiant, smiling Emily. But not with the inky brush. That was this one, right? Yeah. Okay. I'll have a little drink. Yeah, look. Should I go really close to the microphone? If I can, if my headphones let me in. Hi, Shannon. Hello. Hello. So anyone who joined recently, this is 10 minutes so far of Emily. I'm going to spend at least another 10 minutes putting some paint, some watercolor into this Emily. And who understands hinges? Do they? No. So Shannon, what's your internet situation like? This seems good. When should we recommence Drawn Together? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we should definitely do a trial run. Yeah, yeah. What would the so anyone on YouTube can feel free to weigh in on the conversation, but Shannon is wondering about what, having, if you're on the road in the van, like what's the point of having a proper computer? And if you have a laptop, then we could do Drawn Together from the laptop, and you could be anywhere in the country. Yeah, commissions live stream. Yeah, that, that could be a thing. It's challenging. How do people make money doing art? Is there anyone in the audience who has a really like a steady, reliable, like this is what I do every day? Because this is the question I've had recently. I do a lot of different things, and at the moment I'm working on a mural, which is really cool. And yeah, it's like I have this kind of vision. If I could just do live streams all the time, and like Nicolas Uribe, sell every piece I do. I know I don't paint like Nicolas Uribe, but then maybe that would that would be amazing. But that's not the case at the moment. It may be the case in the future. Holidays, how does that work? Commissions and holidays as a source of income. Oh, like Christmas is a holiday kind of thing. Okay. Mm-hmm. Cool. Halloween. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 There are so many. I see potential in so many things, and I like doing a lot of different things. There's like the mural I'm working on at the moment. There's teaching. I have an idea, which I think is a very good idea. I would love to. Ike hasn't figured out how to monetize art yet. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a journey. I mentioned in October last year, and I've thought about it for a long time, about offering a mentorship, which would be like a really intimate, focused, like small online work group with like weekly meetings. I think that would be a really fun way to like really intensively be with people and share experience and really like focused attention. And that is something that I have done in the past and benefited a lot from. So it's something that I've thought about offering as well, which I think would be really cool. Ideally, so I would like to be able to work from anywhere in the world, because it just so happens that Kira and my families live almost as far away as you can get from each other. So I have my newborn niece is really far away from where I live. And it would be really cool to have the flexibility to be able to do what I love doing and what earns me money for the family, and to be able to take it wherever I am. Like that is a vision that I have, which I think would be really cool. And there are elements to it which already exist, like the online classes and Patreon. But something I've noticed in the little break away from live streams, which I love very much, but somehow not really a huge source of income. But everyone can feel free to buy me a coffee or sign up to Patreon or commission a portrait. And like and subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, but then the things that I get paid most for are real world jobs, like this mural I'm working on at the moment. And I've done event sketching, which I also love. And it's like doing this, but with people, and it's really energizing because they get to take it with them, and it's a really nice interpersonal experience. And that's something I like a lot. And the things that I earn most of my money from are not from the internet. So they're real world jobs, and it's great because I also like spending time with people in the real world and not just sitting at the computer all the time. and it's cool to have like both things, because basically everything I do online is super focused, like what I'm interested in, what I'm passionate about. And that's a wonderful luxury to be able to do that and be able to share with you and to have people interested in like hanging out and drawing together. And it's something I really enjoy and appreciate very much. But it's also really cool, like doing stuff in physical space and actually interacting with people. And I feel like all of the quick sketch practice I've done in live streams and Zoom the past 4 years, that was another 10 minutes, has really, like, you will figure out how to do it. And we'll figure out, and we can share with each other how we figure out to monetize art, because I think art is really important, and it's wonderful, and it's such a rewarding thing to do, and a wonderful thing to share. So we're on this journey together. We'll figure it out together and share with each other. And that's also, haven't really found a way, the ideal way to do it, but that's been an idea for a while, to have like an online session where with different professionals, and perhaps it'll become part of Drawn Together, to like just maybe start or end the conversation with like a business tidbit, or just something that's kind of, that's been really interesting in Drawn Together, talking to all these different artists, and like how everyone has such a different path and different things that work for them, or whether it's been by design or just circumstance. So it's really interesting, like getting to know all these different artists and seeing, kind of getting to know a bit of their practice and their journey. And I feel like the interrelated way we have of interacting with each other online and in the real world, if we can, that there's so much potential to share and learn and benefit from each other's experience, which I think is a really cool thing. Like, it's part of the awesomeness of like the online art community, is how we're able to share with each other. Yeah, and I don't know if there's anyone who has it figured out, but maybe there are some people that have it figured out, or parts of it, and we all puzzle together our own way. Yeah, it's a very enjoyable, rewarding journey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I added a commissions page to my website. Was it earlier this year or sometime last year? But since I've done it, like, no one has inquired. And I do so many different things. I'm like, okay, I could do commissions, I could do live events, I could do murals, I could, like, I'm having a new course which is available, and it feels like it's lots of different things. Rather, I have heard that it's really good to focus on one thing and like focus on it, make it work. I'm kind of like, there's this thing over there, and there's that, and there's that, and I like doing all of them, and it's all interesting, and there are benefits, different benefits to different things, and it's hard to lock down on something, and then I'll be like, okay, I spend some energy kind of focusing on putting this commissions page on my website, but okay, I haven't got any commissions, but maybe no one even knows that I do commissions, and then my energy goes somewhere else. Maybe this thing will work. Maybe I can do some of that, and it's yeah, it's challenging, kind of deciding what and where to focus. Apart from the actual drawing and painting practice, like, that is, like, I feel like I'm pretty good at focusing on that. But then how to offer something which is of value to people, that people benefit from, that they enjoy, that they want, and share in like a, what are the ways in which we can do that. And the live event thing, that has been really cool, because it's like, in the context, the way I've done it, there has been an event, and the business hosting the event has paid me to draw the people at the event, and they get it as a gift. And it's just like, it's a nice surprise for them. It's a fun kind of interaction. They get to take home a present. They feel good. The business that employed me, they're happy because the people who come to the event are happy. And that's really cool. And then it's like, there was one day where I did 50 portraits in 8 hours. And that's like, instead of going like one by one, trying to find commissions or jobs like one at a time, to have like, okay, here are 50 portraits in one go. Like that's pretty cool. This is kind of done. There's no specific time limit, but it's kind of done. Busking, busking painting. Yeah. It's something I have wanted to do for years as well. Just go out on the street with my art supplies, with the sign, like Daniel Artur, to be like, that would be such a cool thing to do. Art is amazing. If it could pay the bills, I would do it full time. But until then, a regular job is the way to go. Interesting. Yeah. Because I chose to let go of my regular job and focus on art. And it's been like art and parenting. And it's wonderful and fulfilling, and also can be stressful because, in case I haven't clearly communicated it yet, I don't have a really clear strategy and path to like, this is how I do it. And if I had like a commission in my inbox every day, and I could just do this over and over and over, like that would be clear. But it's very sporadic, and there are different things coming from different places. And I'm super happy that I have been able to make it my full-time thing, but it's still not. It's not like a secure job. A really good touristy location, not super close. Yeah. I'm not super close to any touristy places where I could like draw like that, but I have wondered just about going to like I don't know if it's the vibe, but like the pedestrian zone, like the shopping area in the city close to where I live, because there's a lot of people flying through there. There are street musicians, and there's life there, and there are people there. And if there was some way to be present and share there, that would be like, maybe that could almost be as good as being at a touristy place. I don't know. It's not like people are there with the focus of experiencing art or buying art, but it would be interesting. It's a scary jump. It is a scary jump. That's true. Because I had a part-time job, and I was like working that and like building up my illustration thing. And I feel like that might be it for today. So don't get to bed too late. We just did 2 portraits, but it was nice. Kind of ease my way back into live streaming with you. So we've drawn Sinar and Emily. Hang on, what was I about to say? I was about to say something. Oh, no, I don't know. Maybe it's bedtime. Yeah, it's bedtime. Yeah, you were going to draw the next one, but I think I should go to bed, because we get to get up early tomorrow morning and watch the kids run, and there are going to be hundreds of children running. And I think adults do it too, but we're going to be going home. Maybe we'll go pick some strawberries tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Maybe there'll be another live stream next weekend. Kira's going away with the Icon. Arvid and Holly go to sleep earlier than I can. Maybe next Saturday we can come here again and maybe meet a little earlier and maybe do a few more portraits. I think that would be good. And we can continue this conversation because I really feel like it would be great to share and exchange things about like what's been helpful or what are ways that we're able to bring our art and passion to the world and have it like feed us and others emotionally and monetarily and all the levels. Like it's really cool. So it would be Linda, you just got finished eating. It was really great having you at the event before this one. It was great having you all here. Thank you, everyone. If you are on Instagram and you're sharing your drawings, tag me, #drawingwithdylan, and tag Maya and Eliza as well. Yeah, thank you for being here. I'm feeling like this coming Saturday, a week from now, let's be here again, an hour earlier, I think, because it would be great to do some more drawing with you. I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for being here, and see you next time. My pleasure. Thank you, Shannon and Louisa, for joining Zoom.